The most effective lie ever told isn't written in a history book or a legal document. It's written on the nutrition label of 1,000 different products and whispered in every gym, every diet club, and every desperate late night Google search. It's a lie so simple, so seductive, that we've built an entire multi-billion-dollar industry on top of it. And the lie is this: the bread is your enemy. The potato is poison. The bowl of rice is the reason you can't lose weight. The lie is that carbs make you fat. I remember the first time I declared war on carbohydrates. It was a Tuesday. I'd just stepped off the scale and felt that familiar, gut-wrenching plunge of disappointment. That was it. I marched to the kitchen and performed the ritual purge. The half-eaten loaf of sourdough went into the bin, followed by the bag of penne, the oatmeal, and the last 2 bananas, which I eyed with particular suspicion. My fridge, once a place of potential joy, now looked like a crime scene. The only survivors were chicken breasts, broccoli, and eggs. For the first week, I was a hero. I was disciplined. I was miserable. But the number on the scale was dropping. See, I told myself, it's working. I ignored the gnawing headache, the sluggishness that felt like walking through invisible mud, the irritability that made me snap at a coworker for breathing too loudly. I was losing weight. That's all that mattered. My workouts became a special kind of hell. The weights felt twice as heavy. A simple jog felt like a marathon. My body had no fuel. I was running on empty, powered by sheer, stubborn willpower and the fumes of my own incinerating muscle tissue. I dreamed of toast. I fantasized about baked potatoes. I'd walk past a bakery and inhale deeply, feeling a sense of profound loss. Then came the inevitable crash. It happened at a friend's birthday party. There was a pizza, a glorious, cheese-pulling, perfectly sourced pizza. I tried to resist. I nibbled on the celery sticks from the sad little veggie platter. But the smell, the sight of my friends laughing and eating without a care in the world, it broke me. I didn't have 1 slice. I had 4, and then a piece of cake. The guilt was immediate and overwhelming. The next morning, the scale had shot back up. "It's the carbs," my brain screamed. "They instantly turn to fat. You failed." So I doubled down. More chicken, more broccoli, fewer carbs, and thus the cycle began. A brutal spin on the hamster wheel of restriction, binge, guilt, and repeat. I was trapped, and the prison wasn't my body. It was an idea I had never once stopped to question. My breaking point came one afternoon when I was so low on energy I couldn't even summon the will to cook another bland chicken breast. I collapsed on the couch and just asked the universe, why is this so hard? And for the first time, a different question followed. A better question. What if I'm wrong? What if the entire premise was flawed? So I started digging, not into diet blogs or celebrity testimonials, but into the dense, intimidating world of peer-reviewed science, physiology, and biochemistry. And what I found didn't just change my diet, it changed my entire understanding of food. The first domino to fall was the great insulin myth. This is the story they sell you. It goes like this. You eat carbs. Your body releases insulin to manage the blood sugar. Insulin is a fat storage hormone. Therefore, carbs lock your fat cells shut and make you gain weight. It's a neat, tidy little narrative. Too neat. Here's the part they leave out. Yes, insulin helps shuttle nutrients into cells, and yes, under the right conditions, this can include fat cells. But its main job is to get energy, glucose, to your muscles and your brain. Your brain alone runs almost exclusively on glucose. Depriving it of carbohydrates is like asking a Formula One car to run on tap water. And here's the real kicker, the fact that blew the whole myth wide open for me. Protein also spikes insulin. In some cases, lean protein sources like whey or beef can cause a greater insulin release than carb sources like pasta. Nobody is out there screaming, "Don't eat that steak, you'll spike your insulin and store fat." The logic is applied selectively, conveniently to the carbohydrate boogeyman. So if it wasn't insulin, what was it? The answer was so insultingly simple, it had been staring me in the face the whole time. It's the first law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. For the human body, this translates to a simple equation. Calories in versus calories out. If you consume more energy than your body burns, you will store the excess. If you consume less, you will burn the stores. Your body doesn't much care if those excess calories came from a potato or a chicken wing. A calorie surplus is a calorie surplus. So why did I lose weight so fast when I cut out carbs? I wasn't losing fat. Not at first. I was losing water. For every 1 gram of carbohydrate your body stores in your muscles and liver, a form of energy called glycogen, it stores it with 3 to 4 grams of water. It's like a biological hydration pack. When you suddenly stop eating carbs, your body burns through its glycogen stores in a day or two. And with all that glycogen goes all that water. Boom. You step on the scale and you're 5 pounds lighter. It feels like a miracle. But you haven't burned 5 pounds of fat. You've just dehydrated yourself. As soon as you eat a carb-rich meal, the glycogen and water come right back. And so does the weight on the scale. It's the oldest trick in the diet book. The real villain wasn't the carbohydrate itself. It was the company it keeps. Think about our most common carb-heavy foods. Is it really the potato's fault? Or is it that we've deep-fried it in oil, turning it into a French fry? Is it the grain's fault? Or is it that we've refined it, stripped it of its fiber, blended it with massive amounts of sugar and fat to create a donut? The problem is a 1-2 punch of caloric density and hyperpalatability. A plain baked potato is about 160 calories. It's full of fiber and potassium, and it's incredibly filling. It's actually hard to overeat baked potatoes, but that same amount of potato turned into potato chips can easily be 600 calories. The combination of refined carbs, industrial fats, and salt is a trifecta engineered in a food lab to bypass your body's natural "I'm full" signals. You can eat an entire family-sized bag of chips and still not feel satisfied. That's not the potato's fault. That's food engineering. Armed with this knowledge, I decided to run an experiment. I went back to the kitchen, but this time there was no purge. This time I invited the exiles back. But I was smarter now. I didn't bring back the hyper-processed junk. I brought back the real stuff. Oatmeal for breakfast, with berries and nuts, brown rice with my chicken and broccoli for lunch, a sweet potato baked to perfection alongside my salmon for dinner, an apple for a snack. And a funny thing happened. I didn't blow up. I didn't gain 10 pounds overnight. In fact, I felt amazing. My headaches vanished. The brain fog lifted. My workouts were transformed. I could push harder, lift heavier, run longer. I was fueling my body, not fighting it. And the weight, it started coming off. Slowly this time, consistently, sustainably. There was no magic, no dramatic whoosh, just a steady, downward trend. I was eating more food, feeling more satisfied, and I was finally losing fat, not just water. I was eating bread and pasta and potatoes, and I was leaner and stronger than ever before. I had spent years fearing a nutrient that is my body's preferred source of fuel. I'd been convinced by a multi-billion-dollar industry that the key to health was to deprive myself of the very energy source that powers every cell in my being. So, do carbs make you fat? That is the wrong question. It's like asking if water makes you drown. Under the right, or rather the wrong circumstances, anything can be harmful. The real question is this: has the fear of carbs, the relentless marketing of low-carb lifestyles, been distracting you from the real problem? From the hyper-processed, nutrient-poor, calorie-dense products that are cleverly disguised as food? The lie isn't in the potato, it's in the Pringle. And the moment you understand that is the moment you stop being a prisoner and you finally start eating free.